Hello everyone, and this is EC the Gamer, and today I finally giving you the Horizon Zero Dawn final thoughts slash review that I tend to do after I finish at least the main story of the game. It has been some time now. I said that I was going to do this, but a lot of things happened, so yeah. If you are seeing my videos, I still play in the Horizon Zero Dawn Frozen Wilds, which I might actually later on do another, how do you call it, another mini review or something like that, final thoughts. So yes, so yeah, I'm going to talk a bit about this, story, gameplay, and pretty much what I can about the game, after finishing it. One of the first things that I'm going to say is this is an amazing story. For those who haven't played it, right from this point forward, I'm just going to say it. You should definitely play the game. It's worth the time, and it has a lot of things that you can do and everything. And the journey of this character is well worth the time that you put in it. So yeah, as I said, I'm going to talk about a bit of the story, gameplay, and anything else concerning the game. So yeah, don't forget, if you're new, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button and leave a comment. So yeah, so we can continue this experience. So yeah, so pretty much if I'm going to start, I'm going to start here with the story. This is pretty much a story about this girl called Aloy, that she pretty much is, she discovers a bit of her origins. She lives in this world. This seems to be like this post-apocalyptic world where humanity is pretty much starting this restart of civilization, and she discovered that she's treated by many others as a outcast in her own tribe. But until one day, she discovers a device called a focus that she pretty much put in her in her ear, or close to the ear, and from there she begins to discover many of the mysteries of the world. And she discovered things that no other human being, at least at this point in her life or in the history of this humanity, have been able to find. And that's one of the cool things about this character, is that she, you can see immediately after she put the focus on this device, the curiosity of her just completely take over, and from there on, she is the person that raised her. She actually begins teaching her everything that is needed to survive in the wilds and everything, to eventually get inside, to finally, rather than being outcast, be part of the tribe, to uncover more of the secrets of her origin, by pretty much finishing a trial that the tribe that she comes from, the Nora, is called the Proving. She finished this trial. She's able to get a wish granted. In her case, she just wants to know from where she comes, and the main father figure that he has, called Ross, he helps him. He helped her train before going to the Proving. And I gotta say, this is one of the characters. It's a really cool character. A bit sad that we didn't get a lot of him in the game. But yes, I really like that he he definitely wanted Aloy to have a better life and everything. So from a story perspective, you know, how it starts the game is really cool, you know, and as the game progresses, it's even better, you know. So for those that maybe just see the beginning and they immediately take off the game, I suggest that you continue it because it gets better and better, especially as Aloy discovers more of the world. Uh, yeah, so pretty much that's a bit of a, you know, a summary there in the story. I was saying, you know, the journey, the game is pretty much after she becomes a part of the Nora clan. She's giving a task as a seeker. I believe that was the name. Yes, it was a seeker to pretty much, you know, go on to the world and discover the reasons as to, and of course you have to play the game for this, discover the reason as to why the Nora were suddenly attacked by a mysterious group. You know, the matriarchs of the group, of the clan, pretty much sent Aloy on a journey across the lands to pretty much discover who these people were, and that's, you know, and the mysteries of the world. So something really cool about this game is the world itself. That's something that's amazing. You know, you go in this game from I don't know, you go from deserts, forests, and not only that, it's just the world is very varied in the environments and everything. As you can see here, you know, I got this a bit like I show you the map, but this is just the map without the symbols. Once you put all the symbols, this is crazy. You know, it has like hundreds of symbols. It's an exaggeration, but I really like that the game was very varied in the world. I mean, you go from going to the jungle, which by the way is the one that I hate the most. It's not because it's a bad place, it's that there's one of the machines there called Stalker, and that machine got me a lot of it made me very scared to go into this place, among other machines like the Stormburns. But it's really cool that, you know, you go from there, you go from snowy areas of the world, and not only that, is one thing that's really cool about this game is the exploration aspect about it. You know, in this game you are able to explore. I mean, just one of this is a sample. You know, you can go up to a mountain or onto a building, you know, of an old building of the old times, and you can see this incredible landscape and this world that again, that's one of the other things that I really like about the game is that I really like was the graphics and everything. It looks amazing. You know, Guerrilla Games was definitely able to make this world very majestic and mysterious and everything, and really cool because again, this is a world after this supposedly apocalyptic event, and you know, Aloy, with her curiosity and her focus, she's able to, you know, go into all these places and see remnants of the past. This can go from, you know, many devices that they use here that I'll talk about later, like recordings and other things. But yes, you go from frozen lands to the deserts. With this is where, and that's something very cool, is this environment, like the deserts, they're very hostile. The machines that you found here are even more dangerous than the first one that you begin in the Nora lands. Here you get like rock breakers, ravagers. Like for example, in this case, these are this is where you find scrappers, sawtooths. That at first they're difficult to fight, but as you get accustomed to them, they become easy. As I was saying, once you get to the jungle area, the frozen mountain, the snowy areas, and the deserts, that's where the most dangerous machines are. In terms of the skills, there was a very varied thing. The skill tree was really cool and varied. I don't have a lot to say. I just one thing is that it's definitely worth the effort. Also the combination of the weapons and the skills and the weapons that the game has is also this game has so many weapons, so many clothes that you can outfits that you can change depending on the environment, that it's definitely worth the try, especially the one that you get at the end of the game. That is the I don't remember the name. It's an outfit that has like a shielding, and it pretty much protects you from one of the deadliest attacks from this machine, like the Stormbear. Once you get this weapon, this outfit at the end, you become like a badass. So I definitely recommend a lot of people to get this one, get this outfit. Also, it's not only the outfits. You can also add modifications to the weapons and to the outfits. Make them more impervious to fire attacks. And then you can also have, and that's the other thing, the crafting. You can craft your ammunitions. You can craft the pouches, to increase the how much ammunition you can get and everything, other things. And when it comes to quests and the story, this is where the game is incredible. The game has missions from bandits, taking bandit camps. This is side things, It's not just the main quest. A lot of people tend to just go into these games and just go full speed ahead, but this game has, it's crazy. It's not only side quests, it's not only the mission, but it's the bandit camps, which are very cool, and you can do whatever you want, very silently, or go in this full-on killer mode. Also, you have the side quests, which I totally recommend, because most of the side quests are very story, they're pretty much story, and based on the story, and they're definitely worth passing rather than just following the story. Going, take a bit of a break and doing the side quest is totally worth the experience, because it gives more. You learn about more new characters with really interesting and funny stories, and very sad ones. So it's definitely worth the try to do them. There's a lot of them, and you can find them just by going to the mission, the story. And again, they're very varied. Although I gotta say that's one of the things of the game, that they're varied, but at the same time they're the same. It's very weird, because it's pretty much, some of the mission is go look for eliminate a machine, like let's look for a Stormbear for machine parts. But then you discover, there's a purpose, as the reason why this person that asked you to look for that, they want it. What the reason why he wanted it maybe is more convoluted, more complicated. So yeah, in terms of that, the bandit cat and the side quest, it's totally worth the time. Especially the bandit camps, because the bandit camps helps. It's pretty much clearing these spaces where people can come back to live there, especially the outcasts. which is really cool because Aloy pretty much is an outcast, so she identified herself with a lot of the people that live outside of their clan, especially the Nora clan, that they are very strict with this thing. But yes, not only that, there's another thing that is called the cauldrons. These ones I did them every one of them because I really like them. You not only if you pass each one of them, once you can actually override all the machine that you're fighting. This is one of them called the Thunderjaw, and you know, overriding one of these ones is really incredible. It's like if you've seen Jurassic Park, and you override one of these guys to fight another one of the same kind. It's really a treat just to see them fight. You can have some moments where you can have this, you know, Godzilla type of moments. So there's and it's really cool because you can see how the machines are creating more of themselves. Also, you have the Tallness. That's another fun side quest that you can do. You know, going up the top of the Tallness so that you can get a much better lay of the land. You know, once you get up to the Tallness, you get more information of the land. You know, for example, you don't need to explore it yourself. Once you get up to the Tallness, you override it, and it's pretty much you can see everything that is hidden. I definitely like this. This is one of the things that I was a bit of a sad because I thought that we were going to have like a bunch of Tallness together, but no, it was only they were pretty much they were using the game like to check the area, you know, to hit the hidden place and everything. But yeah, either way, they were really cool and they're really helpful. So I definitely recommend everyone to go do the Tallness missions. The first ones are easy, but as the game progresses, they become a bit more complicated. Especially if you are not, I mean, in my case I didn't have a lot of trouble because I was very far into the level system, so I didn't have any problem in the game. In terms of the machines, this game has it doesn't have like a lot of them, but they have enough of the machines that they're very varied and they're very challenging depending on who you're fighting, especially when you go and test yourself in the hunting ground. That's another one that is really cool. You have from Stormbear, the Washers, this one, the Snap Mod. These are the Crocodiles of this world, the crocodile machines. They're really cool. You have the Red Maw. This is going to be another side quest that I totally recommend because this one is, I mean, just the how it looks is amazing. It's a Thunderjaw that has survived many battles. So yeah, I totally recommend you do this mission. It's totally worth the time and the effort. And yeah, not only that, you actually not only fight just the machines like the the Washers and other machines, the normal machines. You fight someone called the Corruptors, which these are like I don't know if to call them the main, not the main boss, but they're pretty much from the plot of the main story plot. You know, these are not just your average machines. These are machines that are corrupting other machines, and those machines that they corrupt, they pretty much become more difficult to fight. So these are not easy to fight. You know, they're very troublesome, but they're really cool. A really cool challenge. You know, especially they're not alone. Sometimes you're not fighting just one of them, you're fighting multiple, so it could be a bit of a challenge. But yeah, the cool thing about and the corrupted machines that appear in the game is that as the name of the sickness is called, the corruption, you just fire to actually hurt them, and it really works really well. But just in terms of the machines in the game, there's very various. You know, you have flying machines, Thunderbird, the Glinthawks. You have subterranean machines like the Rock Breakers. Those ones, I'm telling you, I fought one of them and I didn't want to fight anymore because they're very difficult. The Thunderjaw, that they're like these T-Rex type of machines. What more? I mean, there's the Washers. I'm just trying to remember some of them. The Washers, the Long Legs, which are like this rooster chickens type of machine that I think that's the name of them, that they call more reinforcement. The Snap Maw, the Crocodile ones. So yeah, this is one of the corruptors, but there's another one called the Deathbringer. This one is, as weird, it is challenging because it has so many weaponry. I mean, this thing is definitely, you know, fighting with bow and arrows with this thing is kind of unfair because you have a lot of weaponry, machine guns, rocket launcher, flamethrower. I mean, it's a full-on battle. And at the end, I was a bit disappointed, I gotta say this, because I thought that there was going to be a big boss, but unfortunately it was one of these guys, the Deathbringers, which is not a problem, you know. They made in the last mission difficult enough to fight him, you know, because it's not, at the end you're not like this mission here, that you're not fighting just one Deathbringer. You're fighting the Deathbringer with a lot of other machines, so it's making it more challenging. But either way, the machine is really cool. I just wanted to see, there's another mission that they mentioned, it's called the Horus Class. It seems like this massive tentacle machine, like an octopus, but we never fought that, so yeah, that was a minus in the game. But either way, I assume that for the next game it's going to be much better. The other thing in the game is the collectibles. There's many things, from vantage points, getting some cups, also the metal flowers, the Banuk figures. They're very cool, you know, and they're, you know, the Banuk figures, they're really cool because you have to go up into the mountains. By the way, I say it here now, all these things, the audio records, the holograms, the text and everything, when you go into the menu, please look for them and actually try to read them, because for example, the vantage points, I discovered that they pretty much, the vantage points have, you think that there's the audios are it's just the only piece of information, but the audio recording has more information in the form of text messages. So I recommend you to look very closely, because there's more information sometimes and you might miss it. When it comes to the characters, this game definitely did a great job. Every character is really cool. From their design, Aloy especially, from the Karja King, the Nora matriarchs, from Outlanders, you know, people, the outsiders that you find outside the Nora clan. Again, Silence, that's another character that's really cool. That's one of my favorite characters. But yes, in the journey you find many things, and the characters is definitely a plus in the game. They were varied, you know, the stories were, I quite frankly, all the stories were different, and the missions, the story is definitely, if you're one of those people that just want to do the story, it's worth the just going through the story only. You know, it's really cool. and it's a very the story is it starts slow, but it really pick up as it goes, especially the mystery. That's one thing that I like about the game was the mystery of how the world came to be, the mystery of this. As you progress the game, you discover that there's actually a system in place that is the origin of this new humanity that we're seeing. It's really cool to see how, you know, this system create humanity and everything, and the mysteries. You know, this game definitely by the end you're pretty satisfied with what you uncover, but then you're still left with mysteries. So that's really cool. You know, they gave you a lot of the answers to the questions that the game presented, but at the same time the game give you enough of mystery for future games that they make. In terms of the villains in the game, I'm not going to say they were the best villains, but they did their purpose to progress the mystery of the story, especially the one called Hades. Yes, Hades, I think was a much better villain than the human villains. Also, one thing that I really like about the game is that when you do the side missions or the mission itself, be careful. Do not trust anyone. there's a lot of people that you think that you can trust at the beginning, but yeah, they're liars. But yes, in terms of the story, it was pretty amazing. From characters, Silence, Aaron. There are many characters here that they're definitely worth looking for them. Tallness, that's like a hunter. So yeah, especially the female characters are very strong in this game. That's something that you're going to notice, that at the end of the game, when you see the whole world, the female characters are the best ones that I have seen in many games. You know, it's not just Aloy that is pretty much a badass, but it's, for example, the war chief of the Nora. She's a badass in and of itself. Not only the male, you know, don't get me wrong, there are male characters that are very strong, but the female characters are very strong. They're very strong, independent persons, so they're very tough, especially with this world. It makes sense, you know. This world is very the female characters. For example, the Nora, the females have a more important role than maybe in other societies. So yes, that's a bit of a review on the story. You know, turns out the gameplay wise, you know, the game is really cool. It's very easy to change weapons that you have in the weapon cycle, but in terms of changing the weapons, you know, because there's so many weapons, sometimes you just need to stop the game to change, go to the menu, to the main menu to get the new weapons, you know, to change the weapon. But once you got like 5 weapons, I think you can put like 5 weapons or 6 or 4 weapons, I think it is. You just can cycle very easily, and they're very, you know, you can defeat the machines in different ways. There's more than one way. You can use fire arrows. You can use the fire bomb. This is like the slingshot that threw these blast bombs. These very potent weapons. You have like this sonic weapon that can tear away the machine parts. You have sharpshooter arrows that can be more precise, like the snipers. You have this rat, I believe it's called the Rattler, that is a type of machine gun that it throws like this semi-automatic shots. A lance, it throws like lances very continuously. You have also arrows that can shoot with, there are metal arrows that do more damage. Again, there's a lot of very equipment and weapons, so everyone can, you can play the game whichever way you want, whether you want to be stealth or you can go full blast. There's many weapons for the different machine that you fight in the game, and for the I'm not going to forget about the human aspect. There's some of them that present challenge, but yes, not only that, the world itself is big, and that's something. It's weird because when I compare with The Witcher, I think The Witcher maybe is a bit bigger world, but this one, just the landscape, you can go into one point in the game, like on a mountain, or like in this case this castle here, and you can see the horizon and everything, which is the name of the game, but you can just stare at the horizon, and you can get you're just amazed with the level of detail that the game has. So yeah, I don't know what else to talk about the game, because from music, gameplay, story, the side quests, everything that had to do with the game, they definitely did a great job. And definitely at the end, that's the cool thing, is that if you haven't noticed or have seen the news, there's going to be a second game called Horizon Forbidden West, which is actually nice because at the end there is a bit of a cliffhanger, but at the same time this is a full story, so it's not like the game's leaving you like, oh, with this big mystery that they didn't, like, it was necessary for you to learn this game. No, it was like a secondary mystery that is definitely based on what the mystery is going to be worth the journey for a second game. And I assume that if they're going to do a trilogy, which that's the thing that I heard, then yes, the game has the potential to be a three game story. So yeah, I'm hoping to already play the next game. I went full platinum with this game, finished it from beginning to start. I got pretty much everything that I could find. Now I'm doing the Frozen Wilds, which I'm hoping at this point I really like it, but I still am not going to judge it until I finish it. But overall in this game, totally worth the journey. And as I said, it's not just the journey, it's the mystery. That's what made this game great. You uncovering more of humanity, and little by little discovering how humanity came to an end, because that's really important, and how it started again. And Horizon Zero Dawn does an amazing job. Again, this is from Guerrilla Games, and if you don't know this, these are the people that made the Killzone franchise, which in and of itself is amazing, because these people, that game for me I really like, but it wasn't, they didn't went in depth to the story. This one, they definitely put the effort to look for the story, everything about it, So yeah, uh, I don't know what to say more. Just to say a bit of a final scoring of the game. I would give this game, uh, if we go to the professional level, a 9 out of 10, because I had to give it one -1 point, because there were some things, minor things, that's just nitpicking, that I wish that in the future they change. But personally, this is a 10 out of 10 for me. Amazing story, amazing characters, great gameplay. So as always, don't forget, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to it, hit that like button, also leave a comment, especially if you can tell me if you agree with my review or not, or you want to talk about anything, you can say it here. So yeah, that's all for now, and this is Easy the Gamer, and I will sign off, and I will see you on the next review that I do when I finish another game. So yeah, until next time.